All right, Tone, look, we lost our main event on Saturday, but the show still went ahead in Nottingham. Maxi Hughes defended his IBO lightweight titles against Kid Galahad. You were ringside, you had it a draw. In the end, Maxi Hughes won it by majority decision. Did the right man win, do you think?
I still can't make my mind up if there was a clear winner or not. I don't think there was. I'm of the overwhelming fact that still it went how... It was a fight where they cancelled each other out. I can honestly say Maxi Hughes landed the better punches of the fight, but Barry pressed the fight all night. So it's what you like. I mean, I like the better punches being landed because ultimately you can walk someone down all day and not win a fight. Whereas you can't lose a fight if you land the better punches throughout the fight. So I think the result was fair, I'm not going to lie. But I wouldn't have been shocked if Barry had got it. I mean, I do disagree massively with Dominic Ingle in the corner because he's telling Barry after 8 rounds, you've won every single round. That's just a lie. I'm sorry, that's a lie. You did not win every single round, and you cannot be seen with any judge to have won all the first 8 rounds. So he's been a bit misled there, and I think that's why he felt aggrieved at the end. Because when your corner is telling you one thing and then it all of a sudden the end comes out another, you can feel very annoyed and a little bit pissed off, so I get it. But I think it's a close fight, but Maxi Hughes has got the nod and no one can complain.
A lot going into the fight was that Kid Galahad was the lot better boxer. Obviously, Maxi Hughes was the bigger. Was you ultimately a bit disappointed with Kid Galahad's performance? Look, obviously the jump from super feather to lightweight's a big one, but again, maybe everyone expected a bit more.
I think he felt it the first shot on the top of the head in the first round, and it made him think twice about just rushing in. I also believe that he's not as imposing and as intimidating at lightweight as he was at featherweight. Let's be totally honest here, when he gets in the ring at featherweight, he weighs in at 9 stone on the Friday. There's no shadow of a doubt in my mind that when he gets in the ring on a Saturday night, he's well over 10 stone. Well over 10 stone. He's 20 pounds heavier when he gets in the ring on fight night, without a shadow of a doubt. At lightweight, not so much. Maybe 6 or 7 pounds, maybe 10 at the most heavier when he gets in the ring at lightweight. And Maxi Hughes, although he is slightly the bigger man, he didn't look the physically stronger man in there. Barry still looked physically the stronger of the two. When they got into clinches, when they would wrestle a little bit, when the dirty stuff, I say dirty stuff, it's not dirty in any way, it's rough house tactics. And when them rough house tactics were being employed by Barry, Maxi was struggling at times. And that's not just down to rough out, that's down to physical strength, Addy. It's hard to explain, but when someone is physically strong, it's hard to manoeuvre them round the way you want them to. And I feel like every time they got into a clinch or got up close, it was Barry manoeuvring Maxi around, not Maxi manoeuvring Barry. Maxi threw some lovely counter body shots. I think they played a factor in the fight. An awful lot of bolo shots into the centre of his pit of Barry's stomach. I just think Maxi Hughes is someone who now knows how to manage a championship fight. He knows when to come strong. He knows when to have that little couple of rounds off because I'm going to come strong in the next 3 or 4. He's become a really good fighter at doing that, managing the championship rounds. I thought he was brilliant. I don't know what the guys were doing with my scorecard on the TV, but I never once did I have Maxi Hughes 4 rounds up. I was quite clear, if I can remember off the top of my mind, I thought I scored the first one level, 2 to Maxi, 2 to Barry, 1 to Maxi, 1 to Barry, then Barry gets the point off. And that's the swing thing there, because it's a round where Barry gets a point off, but I actually think he wins the round. And depending on how judges want to score, is it a 9-9 or is it a 10-9 to Maxi? I don't know, but that's the problem that I had with my card there, because I'm not sure how people can interpret that round where Barry gets the point off, because I think that's a round he actually won without the point coming off. So I don't know, but listen, it's over now. It's past it. Maxi goes on.
The question now, Tony, is what next? I'm going to ask you about what next for Maxi coming up. But firstly, Kid Galahad, what next for him? That's 2 defeats in a row now. Obviously, Kiko Martinez last year, which I thought was one of the biggest upsets of the year, and now Maxi Hughes. Now, look, obviously, I know he's moving up in weight, but he was a big favourite to beat Maxi Hughes. And I just kind of wonder, look, he's not a big ticket seller. He's awkward to fight, we know that. 32 now. I do wonder what they're going to do next with Kid.
I see where you're going. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I'd like to see Barry make a move and a change. because I feel like his style has gone a bit stale. I'd like to see what he can do, because he's an amazingly talented individual with his actual boxing skill and expertise, and he's super diligent. He really is, and he lives the life. I mean, his whole life is about boxing, and I'd like to see if things could be changed. I mean, I look at Lee Wood and the way he drastically changed everything when he left the Ingle camp and went and had a little patch under Ben Davidson, how that one-to-one coaching and not being part of a big team and a big camp, how it helped him. And maybe that might help Barry in some way or other. I don't know. I mean, I'm not slating the Ingle training regime, because it's undoubtedly proven Brendan Ingle was an amazing trainer who created the style that changed the face of British boxing. Brendan Ingle is one of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coach that England has ever seen. But everything has a time, and boxing is more of a science now than ever, and trainers need to update the ways, update the techniques and methods. And I just feel fighters can only benefit from that. Fighters should all remember, who are watching the show, you only get one shot at your own career. A trainer gets 1,000, as many goals as he wants, Addy. A trainer can get fighter after fighter and have chance and chance and chance and chance after chance. A fighter gets one. So if you feel like you're going stale and you're a fighter and you're watching this, take this upon yourself to take your career into your own hands. And if you want to improve and you feel like you're going a bit stale, go and see your coach. Sit down, shake his hand, say thank you very much for what you've done, but I need a change. I only get one shot at this, and I don't want to pass it up because I don't want to leave this guy because of personal issues. He's my friend, he's a good coach. Or it's not personal, it's purely the fact of you want to improve, and someone else might see something in you that improves you.
As for Maxi Hughes, Tone, look, I mean, he wants now and deserves that big American fight. It's been a fantastic 2.5 years for Maxi Hughes. Let's not forget the Giovanni Strafford win as well at Headingley, and he followed up with this as well now. Surely Eddie can give him that big American fight. Win or lose, I just want to see him get that American opportunity. He's screaming out for it, and I think Eddie needs to deliver it. What do you think?
He's a problem for anyone, really, Eddie. He's fit, he's strong, he's compact. He's not going to be an easy ride for anybody. I mean, who wouldn't love to see the amazing and brilliant Jorge Linares against Maxi Hughes? I mean, it's a really exciting fight. It's a really good matchup, and it's a smart one as well. It's one that opens someone like Maxi Hughes up to the American public. He gets past Jorge Linares, and before you know, Devin Haney needs a defence, or somebody else out there. You know, we've seen the brilliant Shakur Stevenson now up to lightweight, and he might want to open up to the UK shores and go, you know what, I'll beat your guy. You know, and so you just don't know what can do it, but you need to face a name that everyone knows, and everyone knows Jorge Linares. This guy's came from super bantam to featherweight to super feather to lightweight. He is an unbelievably gifted fighter who's been through the weight divisions over the years and is a top quality fighter. So give Maxi Hughes that big trip over to the States, or even if it comes over here, but then just open him up to the American market to see what the other guys think.
Oh, that was the main event. The co-main event was an intriguing one. It was Terri Harper moving up 3 weight divisions to 154 pounds to take on Hannah Rankin for her WBA and IBO titles. In the end, Terri Harper just proved that she was a class above Hannah Rankin, and now she's the 2-weight world champion. I mean, look, the obvious fight to make here is Terri Harper versus Tasha Jonas. I thought back in 2020 when it was a draw, 130 pounds, I thought maybe Tasha Jonas was unlucky not to get the W. You've got to make the fight right now, I think. 154 pounds. 3 or 4 belts on the line. You got to make it now.
Yeah, I make you spot on. First and foremost, I'd like to say congratulations to Terri Harper. I thought she boxed a brilliant fight. I was really disappointed in Rankin. I think she went in there with the plan of, right, I'm just going to use my size. I'm the bigger of the two fights, and that's going to be enough. Well, that's not going to be enough when someone's footwork is far superior than yours, and that was the difference on the night. Terri Harper, her footwork was brilliant. She was in and out, she was out at angles, she was around the sides of Hannah Rankin, and she just teed off on it on numerous occasions, and I can count on one hand how many times Rankin landed clean. I think it was 4, maybe 5 tops. 2 of them were full-on clean right hands. The rest was just Terri Harper teeing off and all the way through. And a huge congratulations should be placed upon Steffi Bull and Terri Harper. They've been to the lowest of the low after that Alicia Baumgartner fight, and they can say that they exercise the demons all they want, but I don't believe they were fully exercised. On Saturday night against Hannah Rankin, them demons did get fully exercised because she got nailed hard on numerous occasions with little gloves on, and she had to go through some not shaky moments, but getting caught off them big heavy right hands at the couple of times that she did, that takes you back in your mind, and she overcame that, and a coach guided her through it brilliantly in Steffi Bull. So well done to them. As I say, Hannah Rankin will be kicking herself that she never went in there. Or if she did go in there with a game plan, which I'm sure she did, she completely derailed from it after 2 rounds. And that wasn't good to see. And world champions of any kind of quality don't do that, Addy, so I'm sure she'll be kicking herself.
All right, before we talk about another fight card on Saturday, quick mention to Cyrus Pattinson, who opened the show for us on Saturday, and he became the new IBO Continental Welterweight Champion. I'm telling you now, mark my word, he's going to be a problem, not just for other British welterweights, but other welterweights around the world. All right, Tone, let's focus on a fight card on Saturday as well in Manchester. Battle the big boys, 2 really big heavyweights, Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker. Now, if you watched the show with me and Tony last week, Tony got it right, spot on. He said that Joe Joyce was going to get the late stoppage. I tipped Joseph Parker, and in the end, Joe Joyce proved that he was too big, too strong. He has a granite chin. Honestly, he has an engine like a Kenyan marathon runner. I don't know how you beat him, Tone. Honestly, I don't know how you beat him. He's got everything.
I don't want to just say he's durable, because listen, if you could be the best heavyweight in the world and just be durable, then the heavy bag in the gym would be the undisputed champion of the world. That's not how it works. I'm not going to lie, it is his greatest asset. The amount he can take and continue to take and keep coming back is his greatest asset. I don't care what anyone says, that's his greatest asset. That's his fortress, that's what he is. But outside of that, he's extremely fit. He moves really well for a heavyweight. Yes, it might be robotic at times. Yes, he might telegraph punches, but you know what? You're that exhausted, you can't get out of his way, because he will just keep coming. He's the human Terminator. I labelled him many years ago. He will outlast you. If you get into a fight with this guy, he will outlast you. He will be there till the end. Don't get me wrong, at some point the bubble is going to burst, but I've been saying this for so many years, the bubble's going to burst, and if anything, the bubble seems to be getting thicker and stronger and gaining more momentum. It's like a snowball coming down a hill, and it just keeps gathering more and more snow and getting bigger and stronger and going faster. He's a problem, mate. He's a problem for any heavyweight in the world.
Yeah, look, it was a fantastic performance from Joe Joyce, but it takes 2 to tango, and credit to Joseph Parker as well. I do wonder though, Tony, look, we're going to speak to Andy Lee, obviously as part of the DAZN team. I wonder, and hindsight's easy, right? But I wonder if they got it wrong with the weight. Joseph Parker coming in at career heaviest, and I do think maybe they should have come in a bit lighter, but look, we'll catch up with Andy Lee, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks to discuss that one. But credit to both Joseph Parker and Joe Joyce. There wasn't just that, by the way. On the weekend, Tony's favourite ever fighter, Shakur Stevenson, fought as well. I was going to say defended his belts, but he didn't, because he didn't make weight. So he beat Robson Conceição. The belts are now vacant. He's moved up to 135 pounds. Not really focusing on the fight, Tony. In terms of Shakur Stevenson now being part of that 135 pound group, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say last man standing, aren't you? How do you think he's going to get on with the rest of them?
He'll be the last one standing, guys, at 135. This boy's something else. His time and his footwork, everything. I mean, I was happy to see it, to read his statement on how not making weight. When a fighter says it's becoming physically dangerous, that's the right move to let them go. I'm sorry, because your health is the most important thing in the world. And if we can all make weight, Addy, we can all make weight. Can you make weight and still be healthy? That's a big question, especially with a lot of fighters the way they do it these days. A lot of them do use the science to make weight, and I don't believe personally it should just be done with the science, because the science will tell you can do things and your body will tell you another thing on the day. A lot of it has to come down to personal preference, tried and tested methods, and what actually works for the fighter. The science doesn't work for everyone, because I see fighters and some of them say, well, I lose 10 pounds of fluid on the day. And I would never have dreamed of losing £10 of fluid on the day. That would have finished me off. But I would lose £2 of fluid every other day for 2 weeks building up, and then slowly do it that way. Or it may be £1 of fluid a day for the last 6 days building up to it, and then be bang on the weight in the morning without and have something to eat. Everyone's different, but too much science can overcook it and do it bad for you. And I really do feel for Shakur Stevenson with the belts, but what an addition to 135. I'm not sure what Ryan Garcia's move is. I'm pretty sure he wants to move up, or has recently said he's going to move up.
Ryan Garcia's last fight was at 140. He wants to stay at 140. Yeah, he's a bit like Shakur, whereby obviously Shakur's realised he can't make £130 now. I think Ryan's basically said he can't make 135. But fingers crossed, we still get these guys giving us really big fights. Talking of big fights, not much bigger over here than Eubank versus Benn, is it? October the 8th, remember, live on DAZN pay-per-view, and we have you covered with content between now and then. Plus, the DAZN Boxing Boys are back together on the road. Myself and Tony will be doing a special DAZN boxing show as well. So make sure you stay locked in till DAZN, because you don't want to miss all the build-up to born rivals Eubank versus Benn. I wonder who Conor Benn fights next.
A lot of speculation about
Conor
there's
a lot of options on the table. Furman, Broner.
Danny Garcia.
Does he go maybe Avanesian European title shot? A lot of people have been asking about that
Furman
one.
fight. Love it. Love the Hughes fight.
What Conor Benn does have is options.
Conor Benn needs that big fight.
Who's next for Conor Benn?
Who next for Conor Benn? For Conor Benn. I am my dad's son, for the good and the bad.
Biggest rivalry in British boxing history.
If I'm waiting for as long as I'm waiting, it's big. Big fight.